Welcome back to Horrifyingly Fascinating, the channel that aims to educate, horrify, and fascinate you to varying degrees. There's no shortage of weird and wonderful cases in the natural world, and today I wanted to take a look at a specific species of Cordyceps, Ophiocordyceps Unilateralis, and yes, it did take me several takes to get that pronunciation right, is a fungus that infects a specific breed of ant worker and causes some very strange changes to the animal's behaviour before ultimately, well, you'll see. As a parasitic fungus, this species of Cordyceps' one and only goal is to propagate its own species' existence by spreading its spores as far and wide as possible, in order to infect as many unwitting hosts physically possible. The Ophiocordyceps Unilateralis, which I'm going to refer to as the fungus from this point onwards, is thought to infect ants as they forage through the undergrowth of tropical forests, attaching to the ant's exoskeleton in order to penetrate through and begin altering the ant's behaviour. As the infection continues to spread within the host's body, the ant starts to feel compelled to leave its nest and seek a more humid microclimate, one that would support the fungus's growth. The host ant is then compelled to climb to a vantage point around 10 inches off the ground, grab onto a leaf vein with its mandibles, and await its horrific death. Soon as the fungus continues to consume the ant from the inside, the host dies. Several days following the host ant's death, the fruiting body of the fungus erupts from the ant's head, propelling spores into the nearby area in order to infect any ants that happen to pass by. During early observation, it was understandably assumed that the fungus changes the ant's brain chemistry in order to enthrall and compel the host to do its bidding, but after further study, researchers at the Pennsylvania State University in the US found that infected ants had no fungal cells present within the brain, instead finding that the fungus would directly control the ant's body through bioactive compounds that interfere with the host's nervous system, thereby allowing it to directly control the creature's muscles. Personally, I find it even more horrific that the ant's brain seems to remain intact. It's almost like their bodies are hijacked by a remote control device, while they're just kind of along for the ride. Of course, ants aren't exactly critical thinking sentient creatures, but it's a horrifying and fascinating thought nonetheless. There are other species of fungus that produce similar behaviour in insects. Entomophora muscae, which means insect destroyer of the fly in Greek, causes an infected fly to climb to a certain height, glue itself to the mouth of a plant, stick its butt in the air, and disperse the spores of the fungus through its abdomen. Another fungus, Massospora cicadina, infects cicadas, produces a bunch of hallucinogenic drugs, and causes part of the cicada's abdomen to simply drop off. The exposed cavity is then dragged on the floor as part of the fungus's dastardly plan to spread its spores. So, on a scale of horrifying to fascinating, where would you rate this case study? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for listening to Horrifyingly Fascinating, the channel that aims to educate, horrify, and fascinate you to varying degrees. Stay safe, and see you next time.